Hello. Oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I've gone live here on YouTube. Thanks if you're already a subscriber. And I'm going to try and get straight into it and not be too long winded. First and foremost, what am I wearing on my red beret today? We've got a hand stitched, and by the way, this beret was crafted by Michelle DeVilliers, who crochets. I've had it for some time, and it's one of my very favorite. I love, love, love it. Michelle's an extraordinary crochet artist, and such a privilege to see so much of her work in the upcoming documentary "Healing Us," along with the other Red Berets craftivists. Okay, and what else have I got on here? A hand printed or stitched label that was designed and made by a local activist here, and she just had them printed up, and it just says Red Berets, Medicare for all. And it's stitched on, so that's really, really just a neat grassroots way that one artist has contributed to the Red Berets just to make it extra fun. And over here, this handcrafted pin by New York Red Berets Scott Desnoyers. I was, and this is the Solidarity apple, his design that he has created, and it's an apple to symbolize the New York Health Campaign, support for the New York Health Campaign, passed New York Health Act, as well as whole Washington, because we also use an apple over here for whole Washington for universal health care. And so this heartbeat that's running through is a symbol of solidarity for national improved Medicare for all, healthcare justice through the states, a heartbeat coast to coast connecting us all. So thank you, Scott. And these two editions I received just this last Sunday. I went down to Olympia to meet up with some fellow signature captains from the whole Washington I-1471 signature gathering campaign, which of course we gathered a really solid amount of signatures, but not enough to take us to the ballot. But that is the way that building and growing and organizing goes, is that it takes time to do coalition work. It takes time to really grow the volunteer base to a point where you can launch a massive statewide campaign. Anyway, see, I'm doing the thing that I always do here on YouTube, is kind of going too in depth. So thank you for this. This says 2000 plus. It says whole Washington signature captain 2000 plus, and this was made specifically for me. I gathered over 2,000 signatures for the whole Washington campaign for I-1471. And it felt really, really special to receive this from Vice Chair Catherine Lewandowski, RN, who is the one who connected me up to whole Washington so many years ago. Because she saw the berets that I was making, and knit for nurses and the 99% crochet for care, and she reached out and said, here you go, what about whole Washington, do you know about them? So that's how that story went, and so lovely to receive both a certificate of appreciation and these pins. They're beautiful. Thank you, Catherine, if you see this feed. Okay, so I wanted to make an announcement because there's always so many stories and so much going on that the independent media don't always have the time to cover everything. There really is a lot that they have on their plates, and I know that Scott has some upcoming independent media coverage, and also huge shout out to Punch Up podcast. If you're not already subscribed to Punch Up, please do so, because he did go on to Punch Up podcast about a week ago and did an interview and told them all about his April 9th action in New York City. Now I'm going to pull this out right now because we have a couple of events that I want to tell you all about. Let's see. And because I just feel like I might struggle with the words or not get something correctly. Um, I want to just read it straight off of here so I can get it right. So this is straight from the event poster that Scott designed, and it's called the event is called Fidelis Carens Cura, and I think that means faithfully lacking care and it's got a picture. I don't think this will show up very well. No, the glare is terrible. It's got never mind. If you can just kind of go on social media, you'll see it. We're posting it all over Twitter and Facebook and hopefully some other platforms as well. So it says April 9th, Easter Sunday, Fidelis Care Executive Office. So that's where this protest is going to be, or this rally/demonstration. So it's on April 9th, Easter Sunday. And again, Fidelis Care Executive Office. And the address is 9525 Queens Boulevard. And that's from 12 until 2 Eastern. We are calling for Father Patrick J. Frawley, Senior VP for Social Responsibility of Centene Corporation, Fidelis, to renounce legalized manslaughter that he has profited from and demand that he return to his God's teachings of healing us on this Easter Sunday. We demand that as a sign of his repentance that he join us in our fight for single-payer universal health care, as did and for all champion Wendell Potter. One cannot call himself a man of God and profit off denying the poorest among us Medicaid, the health care we need to live. So that is the April 9th event coming up. And some of us Red Berets from here on the West Coast are traveling in solidarity, because if some of you may know that Scott is a Medicare for All organizer, and he is also a through the states single payer social justice healthcare justice organizer. And so he has come out multiple times to help gather signatures, help raise awareness for whole Washington. And so this is a, returning the solidarity. And of course, so Sakuru Fors, who is leading the California Red Berets, Cal Red Berets, is also traveling after organizing a big event in DC for transgender rights. So there's a lot going on. This Saturday, you can learn more about all of that if you want to come craft with us. So we're also posting that this Saturday on Zoom, if you're also subscribed to KRTD Media, you can find them on YouTube. You can find the link. We will be creating art together, and that can be in any form, any medium that you have. So, for example, on the panel this Saturday, and I should know the time, that will be important. It's this Saturday, March 18th, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we've got who's going to be joining the panel. I don't want to forget anyone, but Scott, of course, and Sakuru and myself, and a couple of other artists. One who, so we're not all, we're doing different mediums of art. It's not just the fiber arts. We have people coming who, a musician who's going to be joining the panel, and someone who does like graphic art and paint. I don't really want to speak to his medium too much, because I'm sure he'll tell us everything that he does on Saturday. And also we have another really special guest, Maddie Purves, who is the editor of Healing Us. So it will actually be very, very cool to get that medium as well. Like, since the healthcare justice documentary narrated by Susan Sarandon is coming out late this spring, early summer, we're still kind of waiting on final word for when that will first be seen and how people can, after the first showing, people will be able to come aboard and help organize showings in their area. all of the details for how to see the movie, how to become a partner and a member of the community of the Healing Us Network will be available really, really soon. There is a website that's being launched, Healing Us Network, in the very near future, sometime over in the coming days or week-ish, when the timing is right. And that will have the movie trailer with Susan Sarandon's narration, and more things. Remember, I say remember, and people may not know this. Kenny Ballantyne and Maddie and the filmmaking team, they gathered and have, I don't even know how to say how many hours of footage. They interviewed a lot of people, some of whom, unfortunately, there just wasn't space in an hour and 15 minutes for everyone's incredible and powerful interviews to be included. But some of that, they still have all of this footage, and they have an enormous amount of footage from different direct actions and rallies that we did over the course of the 2 years that they were doing the process of making this documentary. Lots of speakers at these different the marches for Medicare for All. So I know, they came and they did they covered multiple events in California and in Washington State, and then they had filming happening in 4 different cities for the day of the March for Medicare for All. So that was in DC, New York, Seattle, and LA. And of course, we know that there were events like all over the country, but that's where they were able to make it to. So they just really have tons and tons and tons of footage. And we'll see when the website launches, over time, what we're able to be privy to or have. But we know that there will certainly be the trailer, and there will be some excerpts already. If you want to go and check it out, so far it is on archivistentertainment.com, or you can follow Kenny Ballantyne, and I'm sure, and like on Facebook, they've got the Healing Us documentary. There's a page that's got the trailer and a few posts and whatnot. You could probably find him on multiple platforms. I'm focused largely on Twitter. But yeah, it won't be difficult to find if you want to kind of look at different excerpts that are available. It's on the website of archivistentertainment.com. And as I said, there will be a new website very, very soon. So back to this Saturday. The point of this Saturday is to come together as an art and crafting community to create whatever moves us. It's not, you don't have to knit a beret. If you don't knit, you don't have to crochet a beret. You don't even have to paint or create memes of berets. You can do something that is a visualization of what moves you in your art towards demanding healthcare justice. You can use, so we'll basically be introducing people on Saturday. We'll be kind of show and telling a little bit of each of our work. Like Scott has multiple mediums of art that he uses, and he'll talk a little bit about some of the art that he does. Sakuru will talk about some of the art mediums that he uses. I will use, I'll see what moves me. I might try to do something other than knit on Saturday, or I might be knitting. We'll see. But yeah, we'll hear about the medium of film and music. And I just really want to shout out that even if you don't consider yourself to be creative, I hear that a lot of times from people. I'm not really a creative type person, but actually if you can make a sign that says we need Medicare for all, or hashtag Danny Strong, or no one fights alone, you know, we need health care, that it doesn't matter if that's written in pen or magic marker or crayon. Like, that is still art. What we mean by creating art for the healthcare justice Medicare for all movement is being seen and being visible, being bold, being doing something that sparks the imagination and has the power of being a conversation starter. One of the things about the Red Berets, a couple of things about them, is that they can be a connective force. They can be, people can use their own creativity. So we never have really wanted to tell people what kind of yarn weight, what exact pattern. We did say berets because we thought that they were, because of like their revolutionary roots and history, they were kind of, they seemed to me to be a good choice for a type of hat, and it has a ring to it, right? Red Berets, Medicare for all. So, but if you're not a beret person, or you don't really like how berets look on you, you can craft beanies or some other kind of hat. Or, as I say, you could do scarves. And I'm just talking about the sort of the fiber arts movement, right? Obviously, you do whatever kind of thing, like the amount of the memes that are out there. I really don't want people to underestimate all of the graphic imagery that people put information and visual things. This is how we do the movement. So we're always constantly seeing graphics and memes that have information that we need to get across about how free markets don't work in healthcare, and this for-profit system is making the wealthiest among us even wealthier and killing others. It can't stand the way that it is. It's not sustainable. So we have all different mediums that help put this across, and something as memes can be, some of us can do something very, very basic that's just using like a little meme app, right? And we can create something kind of cool. And then we have people with like really cool, amazing graphic art skills. And those things are all contributions. So I kind of just want to point out that you don't have to know how to do, that you can see. I'm not going to take it off my head because I got it all situated here. But I mean, this is some really intricate, amazing stitch work and talent. And here's one that I did, and I don't. This kind of fades. It's got some oranges and some greens. Yeah, we haven't wanted to put people into a restrictive pattern or shade or container, because we wanted to give them a little bit of structure. Hey, we're called the Red Berets for Medicare for all, but certainly if you want to do any kind of hat or something else, do that. It's just the point that we're making something with our own hands. Fran Sylvia's daughter, who's the Red Berets retired RN in Florida, who has crafted so many beautiful. Here's an amazing beret on a stand crocheted by Fran in here. So see, we do take and create different tones and get outside of the box, because we don't want people to get bored or feel that their creativity and their options are stifled. The sky is the limit, and people can create. I don't typically knit with sparkly stuff, but I don't even know. I don't think it's you can't see it very well, and it's shaped weird. Maybe it would look better on. I think it would, but I made this like edge, so it's going to be, like that. Now, And you can knit if you are a vegan and you want to stay away from wool. There's all kinds of amazing fibers that you can knit or crochet with. I am going to be felting these. So these ones, this is knit with wool. This looks like an enormous beret, and it's like, well, I'm going to put it in this little, it's called like a wonder washer, and it's got a stand that it sits on, and it just agitates back and forth. And I'll put it in there with the kind of special felting type of soap. And when it comes out, the stitches will sort of disappear, and it will be like this smooth, kind of more classic. I don't even know what I mean by that, but I'll post some pictures and you'll see what I mean. It'll be kind of pretty cool looking. Now, what's another layering of craft is I received these from Anna Desnoyers, and they are, I can cut these. They're kind of like t-shirt material, and they've got Healing Us, Past New York Health, Danny Strong, No One Fights Alone, Red Berets. So I started to sew these to a beret with this like black thread. And I will say that I'm just going to make it easy on myself and do it kind of like old punk style DIY with safety pins. I'm going to get some safety pins and safety pin these to the berets because the fabric is, oops, hang on one second. I think I'm going to end there because I've got some company. So I will, or maybe pause. We'll see. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, yes. So anyway, the fabric, it turns out as I'm trying to stitch it, even if I pin it down, it moves around like a whole lot. And so at least I'm not a seamstress, or a seamster, so I'm not having very great luck with it, but that just doesn't mean that I can't use these. I will just safety pin them to the hats, and that'll have its own kind of like cool effect. There isn't really any right or wrong. I did give it one other attempt here, but you'll see what I mean. This is like kind of bunchy looking because I didn't. Now, maybe if I would have pinned it down, and everyone who does so will probably be nodding their head concurring, yes, if you would use pins. But it is also kind of difficult because you've got naturally the yarn stretches and it's kind of bunched up as it is. So it's difficult to get something to sew on. And this is too thick. I don't think you could put it on a sewing machine. Somebody might be able to. There's really skilled people. That's not my wheelhouse. So I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to get these labels on some of Michelle de Villiers and Fran Bauer's berets, and maybe some of mine too. So my next step today is to start with my felting here. Okay, but I have started to get into a little bit of what maybe I wanted to do that because I don't know that I want to hog up very much time on Saturday talking about the different aspects of fiber arts. I'm going to try to make it kind of succinct. And there are other fiber artists who will be there to talk about the work too. And mainly what we want to convey through this community art creating event together is that everyone can contribute something towards making our movement for national improved Medicare for all and healthcare justice, Past New York Health Act, CalCare, MassCare, Whole Washington, Maine, All Care. There's lots and lots. Oh, Common Sense Utah. Shout out to Dr. Joe Jarvis, and many, many more. So I also want to give a shout out to Savvy Sabs. who is a contributor on Revolutionary Blackout Network. She is doing, along with Roger, I'm not sure Roger's last name, but he's putting together all of this wonderful information. And so she's doing a series over time, looking at each individual states and what they've got in terms of state single payer healthcare justice. How is each state kind of organizing with this? And in particular, I think they're going to be looking, I think they're looking at all of them. I need to understand a bit more about it, but check it out because they did one really recently on public banks, and they're giving a lot of really excellent information on ballot initiatives and amendments. And so this is like really great stuff here. And that's one of the other things that I was going to say about the Healing Us Network is that we have done outreach to many, many, many healthcare, Medicare for all, single payer healthcare justice orgs, both at national as well as state who organize for both local and national. So we've reached out with information about the documentary and about the upcoming Healing Us Network. And we've also reached out to independent media who we know are supportive of single payer, of achieving Medicare for all, and on the way to that single payer through the states. And any organizations who are also working, maybe, who are in support of it. It might not be their only focus or main focus, but if basically the whole thing is it's to be a very inclusive platform where we want to invite everyone who is in support of getting a just healthcare system in the United States, and how do we get there? And if you have resources, or your org is working towards this, your independent media is working to educate people about this, that's who we're reaching out to. And if we haven't reached out to you yet, it might be just that we're just a few of us. We're in the formative stages of it. Certainly when the website goes live, we will welcome anyone who wants to be a part of the network. And then on that website, we will list, with permission, of course, the logo of your organization or independent media, and links for how people can find you and get connected to your work. That's kind of the whole point of building this community, is like the common ground is we support getting a healthcare system where everybody is covered and people don't have to go medically bankrupt in order to get care. People don't have to go without their necessary medications that would have saved their life. So that's the common ground. And if people want to be on the Healing Us Network website, when people see the film or they see excerpts from the film and they go to the website to check it out and see, what is this? What's this all about? They will then see your organization or the organization that you volunteer for, or the independent media that you support and you know they're doing excellent work. They'll find those resources there and they can then plug in and get active and help make this a reality. Okay, this was all the short version, and that's 28 minutes. All right, well, thank you very much for joining today, and love you all. And it's been a long time since I've made an appearance on here, but if I don't have anything necessarily to share, I just haven't really made a live chat. But I did have some really big updates that I wanted to put out there, and I might do a couple of short clips describing these things, because 29 minutes is kind of a long time for people to sit through. And I really want people to know we're crafting this Saturday, the 18th of March, 2023, and we are crafting and arting in service to letting people know about Scott Desnoyers' upcoming event on April 9th, demanding accountability from Fidelis and pass the New York Health Act. and always Medicare for All, and also about these exciting updates about Healing Us documentary and the Healing Us Network. Thank you so much to everyone, the orgs and independent media who have already offered partnership. It will be an absolute pleasure to see your work and what you're offering this movement up on that website. Thank you so much. Bye.